Welcome to This Explainer. Tonight, I'm going to be your narrator for what is, honestly, a modern digital nightmare. We're going to break down this terrifying sequence of events involving a 19-year-old guy named Akash and look at how a simple, everyday swipe on a screen ended up unleashing something totally beyond human comprehension. So turn down the lights, get comfortable, and let's dive right in.
So tell me, have you ever felt completely alone in a crowded room? It's this heavy, incredibly isolating feeling, isn't it? In our digital age, when we feel the most disconnected from the actual physical world, we almost always turn to our screens for comfort. But, as we're about to see, opening a digital door in the dead of night can sometimes invite the absolute unthinkable right into your reality. Section 1. The Lonely Winter Birthday. Isolation in the heart of Delhi.
Okay, picture this. It's a freezing, bone-chilling winter night in Delhi. 2:30 a.m. Out in the living room of this flat, a birthday party is absolutely raging. But the birthday boy, 19-year-old Akash, he's not out there cutting a cake. He's locked inside his own bathroom, crying over a really devastating breakup. We're going to watch how a moment of just complete isolation spirals out of control. From a desperate search for connection in the early hours to a physical meeting days later, all culminating in a horrifying morning revelation. Let's trace his descent into terror.
Section 2. The Midnight Swipe. Inviting the Unknown.
While he's locked in that bathroom, feeling utterly helpless, Akash sees a post from his ex announcing a brand new relationship. Driven by a mix of betrayal, anger, and just profound loneliness, he decides to download a dating app, and within minutes, boom, it's a match! The notification literally pierces the silence. Her name is Priya, and her photo is stunning. So, as the party outside quietly dies down, Akash moves to his empty, pitch-dark bedroom, entirely captivated by his screen.
The conversation flows effortlessly. Feeling super vulnerable, Akash shoots Priya a text saying he really needs a hug. Priya replies, telling him to just close his eyes with a smile. So, he does. But suddenly, in this pitch-black room, he feels two unseen, icy hands reach right up from his bed and grip him tightly. Startled, he snaps his eyes open, and the very second he does, his bedroom window violently shatters into 1,000 pieces.
Before he can even process the shattered glass all over the floor, his phone buzzes. It's Priya. She asks if he got hurt. When a terrified Akash asks how on earth she knew, she casually replies that she just hugged him so hard in her imagination, and she punctuates this with a chilling LOL. You know what the most unsettling part is? Akash is so desperately lonely, he actually finds comfort in this deeply twisted attention.
Section 3. A freezing digital romance, crossing the threshold. From there, Akash and Priya start talking literally every single night. Eventually, when his roommate is away, Akash invites her over to his flat. At exactly 8 p.m., she's at his door, dressed beautifully. But as he welcomes her inside, he notices something deeply wrong. Her body is as cold as ice. Now, instead of seeing this as a massive red flag, his mind rationalizes it. He just assumes she's freezing from the brutal Delhi winter outside and gives her his hoodie. It's the ultimate psychological defense, right? Ignoring the impossible just to keep the fantasy alive.
Akash goes over to close his wardrobe doors, which happen to be lined with large mirrors. As he glances at the reflection, his reality completely shatters. Over by the window, the beautiful Priya is standing there, smiling. But in the mirror, the reflection shows a horrific, rotting woman sitting directly on his bed. He spins around in an absolute panic, but there is only Priya by the window, sweetly telling him she made him a birthday cake.
Section 4. Nightmares and Illusions. The rot sets in. Somehow lulled back into a false sense of security, they eat the cake. But moments later, Akash is hit with this agonizing pain in his stomach and throat. He rushes to the washroom, gagging, and starts vomiting black and yellow bugs right into the sink. He's choking, barely able to breathe. He turns around, and Priya is standing silently right behind him. The instant he sees her, the bugs in the sink completely vanish. Still in total denial, Akash just blames it on food poisoning. Priya gives him a hug, promises to see him soon, and leaves.
Akash collapses into bed, totally weak and exhausted, and falls asleep. But a few hours later, he wakes up with a jolt to the feeling of someone gently stroking his hair. It's Priya. She's sitting right there on his bed. She whispers, "My phone was left behind, and you left the door open." She claims she came back, found him in pain, and just couldn't leave him. Despite Akash's protests, she covers him in heavy blankets, gives him some medicine, and watches him until he falls back into a deep, feverish sleep.
Section 5. The Guard's Dark Secret. The Morning After.
When morning finally breaks, the whole fever dream gives way to a shattered reality. Akash wakes up to find his bedroom walls completely covered in bloody footprints, and from inside his washroom, he hears a girl weeping. Trembling, he slowly pushes open the door, and the rotting woman from the mirror is standing at the sink, bleeding profusely from her eyes. Terrified out of his mind, he sprints out of the flat and drags the society guard back with him. But when they open the door, nothing. The footprints, the woman, all of it, gone. The flat is perfectly normal.
Akash is frantically explaining everything, but the guard reveals a horrifying truth. Akash thought he lived in a normal flat. The guard says it's actually been vacant for years because a corpse was found inside. Akash says Priya visited at 8 p.m., but the guard confirms 0 entries were logged at the security gate all night. And that girl on the dating app? The guard tells him the corpse found in that exact washroom years ago was a girl named Priya.
Section 6. The Unending Haunt. There is no escape.
As the guard's words sink in, Akash's phone starts ringing incessantly. It's Priya. Trembling, he hangs up, deletes the app entirely, and packs a bag to flee. He yanks open his front door, but standing right there, blocking his exit, is Priya, and she is furious. Right before his eyes, her beautiful face melts and twists, transforming into the rotten entity from the mirror. She lunges forward, grabbing Akash by the throat, lifting him into the air, screaming, "I won't let you go anywhere this time." He is suffocating, blacking out, when suddenly the door is thrown open by his roommate, Rohan. The second Rohan steps in, the monster just vanishes into thin air.
Akash tells Rohan everything, and they abandon the flat immediately. Fast forward several months, Akash is living in a new apartment. Things actually feel normal again. The nightmare of Priya is almost a faded memory. He's working late at night, but suddenly, his dead, powered-off phone on the desk lights up all by itself. A notification pops onto the screen. It's a match. His hands shake as he picks it up. The phone's front camera has been activated, and there, visible on the screen, standing directly behind his chair in the new apartment, is Priya.
We constantly seek connection to cure our loneliness, right? Blindly trusting these digital avatars we invite into our most private spaces. But this story leaves us with a genuinely terrifying thought. The next time you open an app in the dead of night, desperately looking for a connection, ask yourself, who is really looking back at you through that camera? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive explainer. Stay safe out there.